Wikipedia of her Legends history because I was trying to find out if they kill her in Legends.
Was she?
She's dead, dude. She's not living. Do you think fucking Mon Mothma is with her daughter in the Senate?
Well, I mean, no, but still, like, it'd be. I don't know. I was like, spoiler alert. What? You know,
Dude.
About the daughter.
She didn't die in Legends.
She didn't die in Legends.
No, for the show.
Wait, I thought so. Wait, she's alive in
She's
Return
alive
of the
in
Jedi?
Legends.
Return of the Jedi. She's alive
in Legends.
So she's.
But that's not canon anymore, bro.
So she's in superposition. She is like Schrodinger's.
She like buries.
I think she's too young to talk about what position
she's alive
she's in.
Legends, then she's also alive in Return of the Jedi. Yes.
No, because Return of the Jedi is not Legends. Return of the Jedi is canon.
But if she's alive now in this canon in Andor, and she's
Save it
alive,
for the show.
and this is the show.
Oh, we're recording. Oh,
we're live. All right.
Yeah,
man, I thought you were really.
Yeah.
That's gold right there.
Yeah,
Guys, we finally mic'd up our producer.
He's mic'd up. You finally got to hear what I always say: is save it for the show. It's all just madness. We didn't get the funny line, but you know, we started.
What's the funny line?
Okay, well, I'll just say, wait, we should do a blooper. Let's recreate it. Ready? Here we go. Dude, we should create a blooper reel.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You should talk into the mic.
That'd be wonderful.
That's not what you said. You said.
Well, that's
this
what
whole
I'm saying
show's
now.
a blooper reel.
Yeah, the whole show is a blooper reel. Hi, I'm Frank Janish. That's Sean Sullivan. And that's Kevin Smets.
Here,
Brandon
ready for the
Hanna's-
Rams game.
Yeah, Brandon Hanna's not here because we killed it.
Yeah, he's dead.
We killed him.
He's dead.
No, and that's Legends. So he might be alive in canon.
He's canonically alive.
Canonically
Actually,
alive.
Legend's dead.
Canonically, he was dead. He wasn't in the last episode of the Schmodown.
Oh, that's right. And yeah, the Schmodown is
And
now
Bibbs-
No,
officially
canonically
over.
he was alive because that means he survived.
No, Bibbs said anyone who you don't see on camera today is canonically dead.
There it is. Speaking of Schmodown, you're looking at the new and final reigning in perpetuity. Is that the word?
In perpetuity.
Perpetuity.
Is it spoiler? No, we're good.
No,
on
I
your
want to
toilet
say,
paper this morning and you're just trying to
Kevin,
say-
No, it's the word of the day on
Kevin,
my calendar.
that thing we talked about doing in January or February or March,
Yeah.
you're playing for the belt.
Oh, I'm not playing for the belt. For
Yeah, you
that.
got to put it up.
No way.
Put it up.
I won the Inner Geekdom Champion at the championship in the last ever Schmodown Spectacular. You can see it on YouTube. You should check it out. Also, the Rundown Boys had a great farewell.
Yeah.
Tons of guests, like 40. I was telling him he had more guests
it
than the
was
Saturday Night
9
Live 40th anniversary.
I was there.
It was 9th. Yeah, even you were there. Guess who wasn't there? Brandon Hanna. I even invited him this time. And
That's why he's not here.
And
We
John
fired
Kaiser.
him.
I saw John Kaiser on the list
Kaiser
there.
was
and
he emailed
didn't
me
make
back.
it.
He got bogged down with work and so he missed it. But
Well, you know, this Sunday you can see us on. Oh no, I don't know if the Amaru
Is that this weekend? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's this Sunday.
what's Sunday?
The three of us will be with Amaru and JTE on their show.
And Kaiser as well.
Oh right.
Don't forget about that. I put that on my calendar.
I forgot
Yes.
about it until I scheduled D&D for Sunday, and I went, yeah, I got nothing else going on. And then
Uh-oh.
whoops.
Say, Amaru, if you're listening, we are going to try to make it. Just kidding. I'll be there.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we got it.
but yeah,
we're
we
supposed
wanted
to
to
send him an email
I did.
with our. Oh, you did.
Oh, I didn't. I haven't done that yet. I better do that.
No, we'll do that.
Okay, I hope Amaru's not watching this, especially.
No, he doesn't watch the show.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find
But
out.
someone might
I might text him now.
Someone might tag him in the show, but he doesn't watch the show.
Amaru's not going to see this. He'll be fine.
JTE, however, watches the show. Does he?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I do know that Mara Konopik watches the show. She told me
does
that.
she?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Does she?
friend of the podcast, Mara Konopik.
Friend of the podcast.
But yeah,
Which
we
is
said
not
it.
even a podcast.
Well, your friend. I don't think she likes me.
Oh, I feel like everybody you say doesn't like you.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Okay.
You
Oh, we're
can't
gonna-
call out my bits.
I just spoiled your bit.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be
Spoiled
something
bits.
people figure out, like, 30 podcasts down the road, they're like, he always says that.
I just became what Brian Callen was called on the 10-minute podcast. They would just call him Bit Killer Jones.
Yeah,
I think I just Bit Killer Jones
Killing
dude.
bits.
But yeah, I
Bit
won the
Killer
title. He
Smets.
won the title of icon and pillar of the community.
I was.
I
someone-
tweeted that he
you
was
know
an
what?
icon.
Someone called you the best ambassador the Schmodown had.
Who said that?
Someone on Facebook. You said that much appreciated. You
Oh,
responded.
I did say that.
Yeah.
I did.
Someone,
that.
someone
I
sent
just-
me
I forget
a
compliments.
message, which I didn't know this, and this will be the last we speak of it because it is now it's canonically dead, probably. But I realized I never missed a question in spectacular history.
You now
You didn't know that?
I did not know that
He knew
until
that.
I didn't know
He
that.
knew that.
I didn't know.
We
that.
were all talking about it.
No, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, welcome to the show. We have tons to talk about. You see here, we have a great cold open now. That's one of our new aspects to the show. But yeah, canonically, you're saying in Legends, Mon Mothma's daughter is alive in Return of the Jedi. Does that make her alive in Return of the Jedi? The Legends version of Return of the Jedi, yes.
Okay, so there you go. That's all I wanted to know.
That's all I want to know.
You're making it so complicated for no reason.
I need a Star Wars shirt. Look at this. I got a Ram shirt,
wasn't
Star
at,
Wars.
sorry. If you're,
What's wrong with you?
Frank, if the question you're asking is she
Seltzer.
at the battle of the second Death Star? No, she's not there.
Right.
But she's alive.
But she's alive. That's
Right.
what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not retroactively making her in Return of the Jedi like they did with Captain Rex. You know, with that one shot.
Well, that's not
the
even
guy.
canon though.
That's
no, it wasn't.
No, Dave Filoni said it.
He said it could be, but Pablo, I think, was like, nah, it's not.
In my headcanon, it's Captain
Fine.
Rex.
Do we
Sure.
trust Pablo though?
Well, who else are we gonna trust?
Fair point.
Who do you trust? Who do you trust? Who do you trust?
What do we got first on the news?
Let's
We got news, then we got Andor
let's
talk.
scroll through. We've got Bibbles.
See if we get a
Bibble.
bebop.
Bibbles Bulletin.
Yeah, so as promised, a bit, because I'm a bit Killer Jones, I'm just going to reveal the bit. New news name for every news section. So this
let's
week,
see how long you keep this.
Remember,
I'm going to keep it up, buddy.
Remember,
Bibbles
folks,
Bulletin.
when you want to do your own podcast, make sure you call out and declare all of your bits before you do them.
That's bit 101.
I'm bummed. That was a really good bit. I'm almost tempted to ask Frank to cut it out.
If you've
Cut to a
seen,
close-up and lose
if you've seen his movies,
seen my movies?
anytime he shows a reference to something else on his movies, he makes sure he pops in screen and goes, "Hey, that's a reference."
That's really cool. That's really
Well,
innovative.
I had Mustafar as the opening planet that they panned down in.
So did Rise of
episode
Skywalker,
3.
bro.
Episode 3, I did something, by the way, in KOTOR that no one ever did, and I was worried they were going to do it in episode 9, 8, or 7. I pan down after the crawl, and it's just plain space, and then just like Return of the Jedi style, I have a whole fleet pop in.
I love that. That's a good
out of
one.
You were
space. I was
scared?
like, no, not scared, but I was excited that like, yes, I was terrified
Because
It's a jump scare.
No, I wasn't scared. I'm saying I was worried that I like that right now I'm the only Star Wars movie to pan down, not to a planet, just plain space, and then just see
Okay.
ships pop in. I probably pop.
Oh,
that.
I like that.
But I wasn't scared.
but all right.
I liked it better when I didn't have to see you. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna go back to this stuff.
You just I don't know what to do with this guy.
What did I do now?
No, he's great.
Sorry, you
I
had
wanna know-
200
you know what,
episodes of the rundown.
Kevin-
You're a pillar and icon. This is my third, fourth.
Kevin, I
episode.
want to know what you did to your arm.
This.
That gnarly ass.
Yeah,
bruise.
what happened?
Yeah, this is how crazy it is. So wow.
What is
things get.
Yeah, we don't know.
This is why I'm acting like a fool. I'm clearly on crystal meth. No, with my veins are so screwed up from chemo from 9 months that when they put the IV in to administer my whatever it is, the Twilight thing for my colonoscopy 2 weeks ago. This is how long I still have a bruise because my veins are so hard. When they take your blood, it's easy, right?
He's
sucks.
got
You
the
have a needle.
hardest veins.
My veins are so hard; they have to literally pop it through. I'm more terrified about that than anything else, like because they have to literally pop through crusted like vein scar tissue.
crusted?
Yeah,
vein?
dude.
I've got the everybody. I've got the crustiest, hardest veins. You won't believe it. No one's got veins
Are you
like
comparing
mine.
me to Trump?
No,
No.
That's
no.
his Trump.
That's
your
you know
Trump.
what? I thought it was going to be a funny story of you like tripping and falling. And
Yeah, no,
it's
then it got
not.
dark. Sorry. Yeah,
It's more
sorry.
about a life-saving
Well,
procedure.
that's why we go over the show notes beforehand, and you could ask
We
me if
don't.
this was a crazy story.
No. Well,
So yeah.
Don't worry. We'll cut that part out.
This is a
Frank's
fan-
got plenty of time to cut
He's
all
gonna
that
do
out.
all that. He's gonna add all the pop-ups and stuff.
Not
We
at
know
all.
he's got nothing. Look
Not
at
at all. So, Tales of the Jedi new poster released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. it's
I'm
cool.
ready to
Have
go.
you seen it?
October
Cool poster.
26th.
Is that after
the
Andor
drop date?
finishes? So are we almost done with Andor?
No.
They're doing
It's
two
airing
shows.
alongside Andor.
Yeah.
What
for
are
a
we gonna
little
do
bit.
with this show, dude?
But what we're doing now?
Are we gonna film? Are we gonna
How
have
are we
to
gonna
film?
have 4-hour episodes?
Are we gonna film twice a week?
No, we'll cover it both in the same episode. That's gonna be like 20 minutes. Andor's gonna be like 40.
30 minutes. Andor was 30 minutes this week.
Okay, so there you go. I mean, like we're gonna have
We talked about Andor last week for longer than the episode was.
exactly. We were on for like an hour 20. I think we're gonna be okay talking about 2 shows in one show.
Right. So it'll be a 2.5 hour podcast.
Sure.
I was gonna. When am I gonna have my symposium about the Rakatan Empire?
Post show. We got plenty of time after all this is done. We got
wait.
plenty of
So
time to talk
why is this poster Kevin, you thought this poster was news. Why?
Well, it's certainly news.
It's absolutely news.
It's absolutely
news.
Ask all of the news
I know
reports
it's
that
news.
recited it.
Do we have anything inspiring to say about it? Look, I got a lot more to say about the Super Mario poster.
Oh yeah, that's great. I think it's a very well
The
done poster.
Why
is everybody complaining about his ass though?
Because
yeah, people are complaining about Mario's ass.
Because I never wanted
that
to
in the show
look
notes.
for me. I never wanted to see Mario's dump truck. All right. No, actually, I don't know. I didn't look at his ass, but like,
Oh, I did. That's what I look at.
The rest of the poster, like it actually looks like a Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like it looks like
They nailed it.
Yeah.
No John
They
Leguizamo
nailed
or
his
anything.
ass.
They nailed Mario's
In
ass.
nailed
fair
Mario's
disclosure, look. These are news bulletins. It's Ask CO Bibble because this is Bibble's bulletin. It's not my fault, so you could ask him. He says a communications disruption can only mean one thing.
Invasion.
News.
Oh, that would have even been better. Hey, you should add that. Add that in post. But yeah, I just thought the poster. I thought
Okay,
that it was
hold
cool.
on. I
Yaddle's
want
on
to
it.
get something straight real
Yaddle's
quick.
on the poster.
I want to get something straight
What?
real quick.
Go.
You just can't go during the middle of the show, hey, in post. Hey, in post. Hey, in post. I'm going to tell you why. All
right, Frank, you're not
Because
allowed to call
you're
it the
wasting your
bits
breath.
either.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we know that.
It ain't going to...
Frank, we know that. It's a bit.
But it still aggravates me.
Why are you ruining the bit?
It's not why are you saying it's a bit?
I thought the poster was newsworthy because Yaddle's on it. Okay,
Yaddle's
look
on
at
it.
Yaddle, dude. You
She's
got
also in
CG
episode 1.
CG in episode 1 of what?
The Phantom Menace. What are you talking about?
Jarl Poof is in it?
Okay, so what's the next piece of
Anyway,
news?
You know, Jarl
It's-
Poof. You know what's
I
funny?
would argue.
You know what? I don't think Kevin has on here. We got announcements for the High Republic today.
The book? I'm so out of touch with
Okay.
the books. You'll have to be the novel side.
I
of
know.
things.
I meant to put a story in here about the High Republic.
Funny
I
story.
didn't.
Ken Knapsack, who hates you,
Yeah.
following the bit. Ken Knapsack said that he texted like congrats, like it's great you're doing a show and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's like a lot of work and stuff. He's like, believe me. He's
What are
like,
you doing?
huh? Look at these show notes. Turn the laptop around and show it to the camera.
Don't worry. It's a document with words on it.
Lots of words that Kevin Smets added. But he just said
Copy and paste it. What is it?
it's hard staying up till midnight to watch a 40-minute show.
Wait, so you're an editor.
Yes.
You
And a
copy.
copy and
So you're a
paste.
copy editor.
He's a copy.
No, I'm an editor for television.
Is that how that
He
works?
doesn't understand that you're doing a bit
Man,
because you
this
didn't say
This
hey,
show is
do
full
a
Kevin,
bit.
this is a
full
bit.
of bits.
Yeah, I honestly thought we were gonna miss Brandon, but man, this is way more annoying.
Brandon, come back soon, dude. No, I was just yeah.
That's it. That's all he's got.
No, I do think the poster's newsworthy. I just don't think that we have anything interesting to add about the poster. I think it looks really good. I like the art style they've chosen for
Yeah.
it. I like that depiction of the Jedi Order symbol there.
Yeah, well, you notice that the symbol is being made with the outlines of the people's heads. It's pretty cool.
It's made with the outlines of the people. Sort of.
Reverse outlines.
Kind of.
Look, CGI Liam Neeson, that's all you need to know. That's newsworthy.
That is newsworthy. I do appreciate the iconic hands up lightsaber
that's
pose
pretty
for
great.
it.
That's pretty great.
That's it. It's a news
yeah,
bulletin.
it's
That's
a
it.
news
You go to the next
bulletin.
one, and then you're
yeah,
fine.
yeah, but we've talked about it for like 10 minutes.
Because you were complaining about it. I'm just defending my honor.
And the next item.
So, it's currently the 14th anniversary of the Clone Wars, and it's the 20th anniversary of the of Attack the Clones.
Yes.
Kevin,
Someone tell Hasbro that. So here I am. I'm kind of trying to look for news for the week, and someone writes to Collider, our friend of the podcast, Collider.
We don't even talk to these
former
people.
friends.
Perry Nemaroff we talked to, Jeff Snyder.
When's the last time you
Perry
talked to these people?
Nemaroff and I, we text every day.
Just because you see her do
yeah.
like the
Yeah, I
previews
see
of the
her.
movies doesn't
She
mean
does
you're
such a good
talking.
job on her shows that it makes me feel like I know her.
Okay. Oh my gosh. These parasocial relationships are just out of control.
Does Vinny doesn't still work there? Does he?
No.
All right, yeah.
I don't think so.
So former friends, of the show.
Friends of the well, yeah, and but by the way, so they did the article and they were like, "Hey, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars is this new action figure, which he'll tell you about in a second." But then I was like, "That's not 20 years. Like 20 years ago was Attack of the Clones." Then I come to find out, I do a little research that even the Hasbro official longlines, like to celebrate Star Wars: The Clone Wars 20th anniversary, here comes the new action figure. So I just wanted to set the record straight because all of these outlets that aren't doing their research are literally reporting the wrong anniversary. It's 14 years ago for Clone Wars,
The animated series.
which is crazy. 14 years ago, man.
So
Thinking where I
and to
was in my life.
clarify, the Black Series figure they're launching for this anniversary event is ARC Trooper Havoc or ARC Commander Havoc.
I don't know if it's Black Series. Did it say Black Series? It might just be a regular action figure.
Oh, I assume Black Series.
You can pre-order it at Walmart. It's pretty dope looking.
No, it's a
3.75
3 3/4 figure. So no, it's not Black Series. Okay, well, cool.
And email Sean Sullivan for a custom paint job. We can get that, puppy real looking like a Black
if
Series.
You send an email to scoundrels.something.
That's what we're gonna do to this guy. He's gonna get a new paint job.
Get a good Black
Sean,
Series paint job.
Sean Sullivan turns your regular figures into Black Series.
Into better figures.
But yeah, I just thought it was funny that the Hasbro or whatever, the official log line, had messed it up. But yeah, it's 14 years. Happy Clone Wars and happy Attack of the Clones is 20 years.
So that character or no depiction similar to that character is even in Attack of the Clones. Second, it's if you don't know who ARC Trooper Havoc is or ARC Commander Havoc, he is just the basic 501st ARC Trooper. Like it honestly looks like he looks like Captain Rex.
Looks like a clone.
They talk about how he was a big.
He's a clone. He looks like all the rest.
But in the show, he was a big part in the Battle of Kamino.
Yeah, he's a big deal in the first. I think the first couple seasons of Clone Wars. But
he dies. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Spoiler. Gosh. Spoiler. Our next news.
See how quickly that was? He could have been that as fast without arguing about a damn poster. Sound off in the comments if that was newsworthy.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, if you subscribe to this channel,
that would help.
That would be great because look what's going on here. You want to subscribe? Hit the like button, leave a comment.
Tell you what, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I leave the show. Watch.
Wait, no.
Man, could you guys do that for us? That'd be great. Also, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all of those, so follow us on those platforms to see clips. And
do we have a Vine yet?
We're working on the Vine. Yeah, we're working on bringing back the Vine.
I just launched our MySpace page. It's going to be sick, dude. We're going to have background music, everything. It's great.
Are you going to say another outdated website?
I was going to say, speaking of MySpace, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 is getting a VR remaster. Jedi Outcast is getting a VR remaster.
Yeah, I discovered this. It's been in the works for a while. You can check out their Patreon, but
it's not. It's not an official.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's not an official,
legit,
but
so it's a mod.
You can get it in like the I think there's like you'll be able to download it. With MetaQuest and stuff, they have like the experimental app store where like you can download people's apps and stuff. But this thing, if you click that video, Sean, I showed it to Frank earlier today. It's insane. Like you're doing lightsaber, and we did it with the lightsaber with just the
Vader Immortal, the training,
the training in Vader Immortal, and we're gonna save to play the rest because we want to do it for the show. So we just all put pause on that. But so I don't know if Vader Immortal goes into this, but in this one, like you're grabbing blasters, shooting stormtroopers across the way, taking your saber.
Well, and that's kind of the first
stormtroopers.
That's kind of the first game to have like real force powers in it, like that are actually interactive with the world. So that's a really good game to put on VR.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
They are making a Star Wars Visions comic.
Yes.
We got a preview for Star Wars Visions #1. Looks pretty good. Done by the artists that did the Duel, or one of the artists that did the Duel, which is the first episode of Visions.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's impressive.
With the umbrella lady.
You see that art?
I think they were also not only doing the comic for the Duel, but I thought they were doing it more.
They're doing more.
They're doing more. They're definitely doing more Visions, but this
of Visions. Yeah, but I also thought specifically of the Duel in like that time.
I believe so. I think they are continuing his story.
I could be wrong, but maybe
so.
It's just
this comic is I believe a prequel to what we see in the anime of the Duel.
Yeah,
but I believe that they will be continuing his story. Well, full disclosure, I haven't seen Visions. So.
Whoa!
Oh, interesting.
I don't think it's as big a sin as Hannah not watching Rebels, but
I didn't finish Visions,
dude.
But I got to tell you,
blue balls.
Sienna. Well, some of it turned me off. Like
going with that phrasing again.
Yeah, but some of it turned me off. I will say the two episodes that stood out to me were the Duel and the one with the rock band playing for Jabba the Hutt was fantastic.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. I would encourage you to revisit.
Yeah, that was
like that short. They're like 15.
Yeah, they're nice and quick. They're nice and quick.
That was just a casualty of me being in the Inner Geekdom. I didn't watch anything that wasn't an Inner Geekdom movie for 2
and
3 years.
Actually, I think the reason I fell off of it was to study for a Star Wars match or something. So yeah.
You can watch them with your daughter. Most of them.
Yeah, I would like to do that. Because
even if you can't, she's kind of too young to.
But like the animation style, I still think would catch.
Yeah,
I was just always worried about muddling the waters of Star Wars
You were
content that
worried
would
about
kick
what?
in.
You were worried about what?
Of
Mudding.
muddling the water. You
Muddling.
can muddle water.
I can say muddling.
Yeah, I
sure.
mean, like,
on
you
my
know,
case today. What do
you
they
know,
do?
like-
I just want to make sure I heard what I
I want
heard.
Brandon back. There would be a buffer.
If you splash,
Actually, I always sat with you.
you know, if you splash some bitters, some sugar, and a little bit of orange rind in that water,
All right.
you know, you can muddle that up to make an old fashioned.
This is a true story. So my friend of the podcast and KOTOR crew member Brandon Twig did an excellent The Rise of
he's
Skywalker.
your friend. I don't think he likes me very much.
No, he hates you. But see how I'm able to do it? But now that's the new bit. Is that he did a fan cut of The Rise of Skywalker, and I liked it so much that I would watch that. Now, he didn't do a lot of cuts or anything like it. We're talking other fan edits, but he did do some rejiggering around and stuff. But the one thing, he did that great clip that was floating around online of all the Jedi ghosts appearing at the end, which I always loved. And so he put that in the cut. He used a Vader versus Kylo Ren short film that was like really high quality that fit right in. He used that as a vision of Kylo in the very beginning of the movie. So like he just incorporated stuff that's really fan servicey, but I liked it. But one of the things he had was he had a Force ghost of Adam Driver's Ben appear with Leia and Luke at the end,
Which is great.
At the end, which is fantastic. So no joke. When I was studying for one of my latest matches, I think against Saul, like earlier this year.
I was like, why are we talking about? I forgot. How did we get here?
Yeah, we get into this. Someone had asked, name the two ghosts or whatever, like in a training session. I was like, there's three. They're like, no, there's two. And I'm like, and I had forgotten that was a fan edit of, they added Ben.
So the difference between Star Wars and IG, right? Like we memorized all the lines that all the Jedi say and all that crap, which luckily you guys don't have to do. It's too much. But the Blu-ray and the Disney Plus version, the subtitles are different.
Yeah.
And they swap, I think it's Luminara and Aya Sakura.
Oh, dude.
So they credit and I think it's the two of them. It might be Luminara and someone else. But so the quotes are attributed to the wrong person.
See, that's
the Disney Plus version is the version,
right? Because the Disney Plus version is the one that gets updated. The Blu-ray one doesn't.
Because those were the ones that were edited for the 3D release,
right? And no, but I'm talking for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
The Force vision, the Force ghosts at the end.
They change, yeah.
Or the voice. They're not ghosts. They're the voices of the Force.
Whatever. I really just stopped watching anything. Like I like his fan edit where he cut in the Clone Wars with Revenge of the Sith. That's great. That's long, and actually that's safe to watch because he didn't change anything. But
you should watch my fan edit of Force Unleashed.
You did one?
No, but I will. It'll be out by the time this episode's out.
And I bet you all watch it before you get a chance to watch my KOTOR movies.
I've seen them. I just don't remember them. There's no more news, so we're gonna talk about Andor.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, Cassian Andor. So
only 23 minutes into the show, we get to talk about the main thing.
23
That's how long it normally
minutes
is.
into the show. All right, so yeah, this is we got.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with the Rebels? You want to start with Coruscant? You want to start with the Imperials?
What do you think? What was your favorite?
I kind of want to start with Syril.
Yeah, let's start with Syril. So
friend of the podcast, Syril.
Friend of the podcast, Syril Karn.
Syril Karn.
Before that, could we just mention the opening logo one more time? That how great it gets you in the mood for that.
You know
show.
what? I skipped it.
Do not skip it. Well,
don't
no,
ever
I think the skip option still puts you
I
on
know,
the Andor logo. You
I
still
know.
skip that.
I hit. There's a little button.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Were you in a rush?
Were you in a rush?
Yeah, it was midnight. I had to
What's the
wake up
fire?
for work in the morning.
It's 35 minutes.
I don't know that. I was tired.
Nothing. So this
I went to
totally
bed.
discredits everything I'm about to say. But
I went to bed at 10:30 last night,
Okay.
and then set an alarm for midnight so I could wake up and watch.
There you
it.
go.
I did the first. Finally, I did the thing where
And
I woke up
you did
and watched it
all
in the
that
morning.
just to skip like
Yeah.
10 seconds?
That thing gets you in the mood. Now, I am already on the case. I want for the season finale episode, I want to recreate that first Scoundrels Inc. A version of that. It's just so cool how it slowly reveals and the music.
Get to work, buddy.
Yeah.
Get to work.
And I
on
can
it.
send you the
You know me, I
files.
delegate. I'm Captain Delegation. I'll get someone to do it but yeah, there's nothing that
We've
puts
got to
you
have
in the
some.
mood.
We've got to have someone.
Oh, I have some
Listen, fans, if you think you could do that, let us know.
I got someone already on the case, I think.
Cool.
But yeah, it's just that there's nothing that gets you started and fired up more. Right to me right now, it's just you hear it and it's a different theme every episode. It's not the same.
You know, it's a
Right.
minute long.
They're not really. They're
Yeah,
like
they are.
39 seconds. Episode 3 was 39 seconds. Want to know how I know? because I listened to the track today on Apple Music. The first three, the
do they
opening
call the
credits for the first three episodes are on Apple Music.
What do they
or
call it?
Spotify.
They call it anything like main title or logo?
Yeah, I think it's like
result, or-
opening theme.
So good.
Yeah.
Just gets you amped and just slowly reveals everything. Anyways, I just wanted, because that's the top of the show, I wanted to talk about
Yeah, that's cool. But getting back to Syril Karn, when we left him last episode, he got smacked by his mother. We all had different opinions. Well, we all did, but me and Sean were on the same page. Kev was like, she hates her son. Or is that
No, I was way off though. I knew I was going to eat crow. I knew I was going to eat crow on this one. I just thought that she was more heavily ingrained in society and like the upper elite, and like she was mad that he got fired.
To be fair,
far off on
so
that
did
point.
I. I thought the same thing, and I think we found it in this episode. That's not true.
Yeah, she's more
Well, she's
like
very concerned about status. Though.
she's more like a stage mom, like
she
from
is,
actors. if
right?
You know what I mean?
Right. It's a very interesting because she talks about the scenes with Syril. First off, this show has a trend where it just takes normal food, makes it blue, except the milk that's white.
For Syril's cereal?
Honestly,
No. The milk that Cassian had on the planet
at the camp.
at the camp was regular white
It was
milk.
kind of like regular white.
And he said it was disgusting. Every other milk we see is
I never
blue.
got that joke. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I thought it had like a tinge of like pink to it.
How
But it was
good?
mostly
How good did that cereal look?
Well,
I'm
so
sorry,
that
I want
cereal,
Syril
hold on.
cereal.
That,
And there's a name for
I'm
it.
pretty sure you can just like
Syril cereal.
that's
It looked
Hello,
like, it looked
Syril
like,
cereal.
It looked like kibble.
Syril.
Is what it looked like.
Kibbles and bits and sibbles and
Yeah,
bio-sibbles.
It kind of did look like kibble. Like the coloring was kind of kibble.
It looked delicious. I don't know. Do I like dog food?
Let's get you some dog food. That's what we'll do. For when we hit 1,000 subscribers,
when we hit one,
Kevin Smets
If
will
this was the
eat
80s,
kibble.
they'd make cereal for Syril.
Well, no. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will give Kevin blue milk and dog kibble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I will have a bite, not a whole bowl.
Okay, but what if
I will
it's
eat-
good?
I will eat a bite. I will eat on the air a bite of kibbles and bits in blue milk.
Now hold on.
No.
At least a bite, minimum a bite.
Just like I will make an attempt, but I have a very massive gag reflex.
Okay,
so.
but what if it's good?
Well, that's even better. I would love to see you throw up.
And
on
you
the
can't
show.
get some gross. I want regular
No.
kibbles and bits.
I'm gonna get something that. Well, no, I'm gonna get something that looks like Cyril's cereal.
So you're gonna try to match it?
I'm gonna try to match it.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
it's
can
called
match it.
kibble.
Yes.
Okay, so
1,000 subscribers.
But if it's,
Look at that. We just did
now,
a stunt
Now I
event.
want to know minimum one bite.
Yes. No. What? You
'Cause
think I'm
if-
going to continue eating
just
it?
one
If
bite,
you
just one
like
bite.
it,
Guarantee I'm not going to like it.
If
Okay,
he likes
but
it,
if you
we
do-
can't stop him if he likes it, Sean.
Yeah, what's the rule? You're going to take it away and be like, it's mine?
no, you said one bite, and then we'll all eat the rest of it because it's good.
Fuck out of here. All right, so Syril is
By the
eating
end of the year.
cereal, which was just like
Cereal.
First of all,
Syril cereal.
that was very. It's because we're seeing new stuff in the Star Wars world in terms of like regular day-to-day life activities. So watching people eat is a little weird, even when it's cereal,
Yeah,
or
it's-
noodles, or soup. It's just like it's a little
It's like
off-putting because
it's like I think we talked about this before.
Not in a bad way,
on
not
an
in a bad
episode.
way, but it's
we
just-
talked about hot chocolate.
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
right? It's just strange to see these like very mundane things be Star Warsified.
Yeah.
You know,
And her like, I'm going to call your Uncle Harlow to get a job. Like, it's a very mundane,
But
like,
at the
just
same
what your
time, they
parent
kind
would
of the way they kind of talked about Uncle Harlow. He asks, "Does he even remember you?"
yeah.
Or something like. There's a lot. I'm
do.
not.
Yeah, and who is Uncle Harlow? Are we gonna meet him?
I feel like he's someone.
I don't think he's an uncle.
Yeah,
Important.
I think. See now, when they talk about family,
Yeah,
there can be two different.
yeah,
connotations
I
of
didn't
like
take it as-
actual blood family or like an organized type
right.
of family.
Some sort of organized.
So to
family.
review, were any of us correct about the mom? What was your guys' take on it? You got thought it was
She
just more like
was-
home mom.
Like yeah,
Like
so
everybody
I think,
that's
I think we were
Rain
both.
Marin.
I think we were all wrong, but also kind of right
Yeah.
because
You get to be right. You get. To
she
be
was, I think, happy to see him because they also talk about like he's like you could have came and visited me and you could have came anytime you wanted and she's like open invitation isn't an actual invitation, so they had this back and forth and they
She's-
do have like a very tense history, it seems like.
Yeah, well, she's got this weird sense of propriety, and it definitely seems like he's tried his best to live up to what she wants, and realized he can't hit whatever standard
Yeah.
that she's setting for him. So she's kind of setting the standard and like, hey, we're gonna, I talked to your Uncle Harlow and he thinks that law enforcement wasn't the right job for you. He's still thinking about what the right job for you was, which kind of gives me that organized family feel, right?
Oh, Harlow, yeah.
Right, like there's this.
Call your Uncle Harlow. I mean, it could be an organized
got a
family
job
that
for you.
is like all blood.
Sure, it could be all
Zero
blood
the
or
Hutt in there, or is
I mean,
Zero's
yeah.
in jail, right?
Well, I don't know that it's a Hutt family. Like I'm kind of thinking like big Greek families, big Italian families,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, whether blood family or otherwise, there's this.
Does his family have like a history of working for security or for the Empire, or and he was so gung ho about working for
Law enforcement.
that's why he was so gung ho on trying to capture Andor and to kind of like prove to his mother and the rest of his family that he's also like them, and that he's not.
or the opposite. They could be involved in some form of organized crime.
Sure.
And he's trying to prove that, hey,
not
I'm
like
better
them.
than that.
Yeah, it
right?
could be. Yeah, there could
And
be.
now-
Either way, I like it. It adds a layer to him. Where you never want to root for the guy, but like I like those.
I'm interested in him though.
Yeah, it's like in Heat. Remember in Heat, you had Al Pacino versus Robert De Niro, and like you're rooting for one guy to get away, but you're rooting for the other guy to like catch him. So it's like you kind of like that, and that's cat and mouse. And I wonder if that's going to be a similar dynamic.
He turns on the
Right.
image of Cassian, and it's just like I gotta get him to prove that I can do this and that.
Well, it's so interesting too because like we almost have to stop and ask, right? Like what is the Syril Karn story in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
What is the bigger picture? Why is this an important story to keep coming back to in reference to the overall story of Andor season 1, right? So I'm kind of curious to see where it goes, which makes me think maybe he's going to end up on the side of the rebellion, maybe.
I don't know. One thing I was thinking about while watching their dynamic was Star Wars is filled a lot with father-son relationships.
Right, and this
is a mother-son relationship. One I don't think we've really had
new
in Star
ground.
Wars. So it's mostly been just about fathers and sons a lot. Luke and obviously Anakin, and you have I think even to an extent Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Leia and Ben though.
I mean, yeah,
Leia and
well,
Ben.
yeah, but that's a newer
that's a
that's
father figure kind of thing, and this is where we haven't really gotten the maternal.
and because we never got the Leia Kylo,
we never got that
we could have,
not live action at least.
right? Well,
We should do a review of that
what a
script
great
one day.
what a
That little
great
face.
transition into another mother-daughter relationship we see.
Yes, Mon
Yeah,
Mothma
Mon
and her
Mothma
daughter.
and her
I was
daughter.
like, no one else is going to take it.
No one's gonna take it. All right.
I was waiting for you. Dude.
So we were introduced to. So last episode we saw Perrin and Mon. It feels so weird calling her Mon. Like on
Yeah,
our first
Mon.
name.
All right, I'm not going to do that. anymore.
Perrin and Mon Mothma's tenuous relationship and his involvement in Imperial muckety mucks and friendship therein, and we kind of surmise that hey, Perrin might not be a great husband.
How about that Citizen Kane table too? That's indicative of their marriage. If you
Right,
think about it,
that big long table.
the long table in Citizen Kane. The longer their marriage started, they get distant. The table's getting bigger, and you see it here. It was Bruce Wayne size table.
Yeah, big old table. A lot of opulence in that home too. Like such an interesting take there. But we see Lieda. Well, they mentioned Lieda, and I wasn't familiar with the legends. The fact that Mon had a daughter, it hasn't been brought up in canon yet. So,
Why don't you fill him in on what happened to her in Legends?
she dies.
Does she?
No.
I know. I'm the one who put it on there.
We talked about it at the very top of the show.
That's a callback to the top of the
Oh, my
show.
gosh.
Friend of the podcast, top of the show.
That's actually kind of funny, but I'm not going to give you the pleasure. Of
You never
hearing
give me the
laugh.
pleasure of laughing. You never. I never get. You're the worst laugh track ever.
Well, in Legends, there was a brother,
What's his name? Mon Mothma?
Jobin.
Jobin. That's a good name.
Jobin is a good Star Wars name, yeah.
Jobin's a great name.
I don't know.
So she had a daughter.
That's a lot of
okay.
words. She had a daughter, but she lived. She lived past all. Because in my head, I'm like, where's this daughter going to be and Perrin going to be? First of all, we know Perrin's going to get it, no matter what, and that sucks for the daughter. She's going to lose her father.
I don't know that.
He's got to be gone, man.
I don't know
I
that.
think it'll be in a
'Cause
crazy way where
here's
she pins
here's-
something on him.
So
or something.
let's get to that in a second, because let's cover what happened in the episode and then go from there,
Yeah.
because I think that it ties in. We see, almost like it seems to me like Mon has been a absentee mother.
That's how it
Almost.
paints it.
Yeah.
So
paint it.
we're
No one's
getting
perfect.
we're getting the reversal of like last episode where Perrin was like kind of being a dick. Well, now we kind of see why. It's because Mon doesn't have any time to spend with her family, so they're set to
So good.
they're kind of set to live without her. They live their day-to-day life without her influence in it, which is why I don't think anything happens to Perrin, because we assume
He could just get up and leave.
Right.
Goosebumps. What if they paint Perrin to be this like selfish guy, but again, he is the father of their child. He probably still loves Mon in some way. What if there is a certain moment where he could totally give him up, and he stone cold says, "No, I don't know what you're talking about,"
Right.
even though he does, and then he either dies for it, or maybe he's just like, "My lips are sealed. I'll never say anything," and then they part their ways.
I think he most likely fucks off back to Chandrila. Like, I don't think, my kind of prediction on it. We know Mon goes into exile in order to form the rebellion, right? If she goes home to Chandrila or Coruscant,
they'll look for her there, yeah.
or wherever, they're going to find her. So we know that she kind of has to be on the run.
Wouldn't the Empire look for Perrin, though?
Perrin would have to be on the run as well.
Yeah.
Right. Because they would go after him.
maybe not, right? Because if
Perrin doubles down on being an asshole.
no, let's build this up, right? They see Mon Mothma as this absentee mother because she's not around, because she's got all these little dealings building up the rebellion with the delegation of 1,000. If they don't know what she's doing or the cause she's fighting for until she puts out her broadcast, which happens in Star Wars Rebels, right? It could just be a matter of plausible deniability. She's doing it to keep them safe, but they're holding a grudge against her because they don't know
in
what
the real
or
world,
why she's doing it.
A lot of people have died for a lot less. You think
Sure.
in Hitler's regime, when they banged door down and there was a spy, that they didn't immediately wipe out their whole family
I
for
think-
not even if they didn't know.
I-
It's casualties of war.
I think there's definitely that possibility.
Now I'm all nervous for
But
Perrin.
yeah, well, more so Lieda than Perrin. Perrin's got style,
He likes to party. Perrin parties.
I think
should be a shirt.
Perrin and the daughter, Lieda, I think they're both gonna get killed by the Empire.
You do?
I
Okay.
do, and I think because they're gonna be going after Mon Mothma, and
A car bomb gone wrong, maybe.
collateral damage. It could be one of those type
Yeah.
of things. Collateral damage is her family. It's a way for the Empire to try and get at Mon Mothma to draw her out, and like that's a tactic I think the Empire would employ. They don't care, who they
and
hurt
the other
or
thing,
name or kill.
this
right?
is the most emotion we've seen out of Mon Mothma, like the most emoting we've seen out of Mon Mothma. When we see her later, she's very calm, cool, collected, which could be for two reasons. It could be because we're seeing her in more private settings now, so she's not putting on a brave face for the rebellion.
She's also not super deep into the rebellion right now. So.
I mean, the rebellion hasn't formed
Council of
yet.
1,000
in the same
Systems
way.
or whatever. What was it called?
The delegation of
Delegation of 1,000.
She's not back on Yavin where she's like knee deep in like.
Sure.
you
Yes.
know.
Absolutely.
you guys,
Her later apathy or stoicism could be because she's seen some shit.
Yeah, and
right?
she's completely dead inside after seeing her family
Right.
killed. There's another option. The two other options I thought of is either Perrin doubles down and then turns on her and tries to turn her in, and they kill Perrin anyway. Like, thanks for your help.
Yeah.
You're still dead. Or the daughter
should've
dies.
told
The
us
daughter
sooner.
dies first, right, in a mishap car bombing or whatever, and then Perrin in the end saves Mon Mothma's ass at sacrificing his life, but says, "Go on, form the rebellion, save the dream, save the rebellion."
I don't think Perrin is the type of character individual to do more than is necessary. This dude just likes to chill out and just kind of. I don't think he's really about.
What if his daughter dies though?
Well,
making deals
here's
and
the
like
thing.
I'm
We
going to do
still
this
we
to
still
do
have,
this.
We still have quite a few more episodes.
We do,
to-
but
to
like the
learn
way I'm
about
reading him from the first episodes, I don't feel like he's. I mean, from what we've heard or what I did here, I forget exactly where I heard it. It's an arranged marriage.
That we had speculated that
Right.
possibility last episode. I don't know if that was.
I thought I heard that somewhere else out there.
That might be true,
I never double checked that, but
yeah, we don't know enough about Chandrilan custom. Maybe next episode we'll break into it.
But what I will also say though, this Star Wars has always been about family dynamics,
right?
And so you get this Mon Mothma and her whole family, right? And then we were just talking about Syril and his mother, and then we're gonna have obviously Cassian, and even though maybe not blood, but obviously his Mavra and Clem. And so like there's all these family dynamics that are just wrought throughout this entire first handful of episodes already.
Right. We'll have to do a preview show before the finale or whatever, where we kind of do the odds
Do
of
a
like
prediction.
who predictions of like who's gonna live. And
Well, I don't want to speculate too hard on the what's going to happen to like Mon's family, right? Because I think there's still a lot of pieces we don't know. I'm kind of taking this show in the same way that I take. I made some jokes
Adderall.
about I wish.
Did you see Mon Mothma take Adderall?
Yeah.
Or no, not Mon Mothma.
I think it was,
the Imperial girl. What's her name?
Yeah.
She was like,
Deidre?
oh, let's take
Deidre.
Yeah, Deidre's like, let's take two more files and then call it a day, and then she just pops an Adderall.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I think that I'm
Friend of the
kind
podcast,
of
Adderall.
taking. I'm kind of taking this.
Oh my god.
I'm kind of taking this show in the same way that I take a show like Lost. Like we're gonna get the puzzle pieces,
Yeah.
and I definitely feel like they're building. They could show us all this Mon Mothma stuff at once if we wanted, but they're definitely trying to build the puzzle up to show us.
Because honestly, I didn't think about any of this Perrin stuff or blah 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 when I was watching the episode or after watching the episode. I only thought about it until you brought it up, and now my brain's going in all these different directions.
Yeah.
Like, what can happen? Because I am also like you. I don't really look at it that way,
And I
just consume it as if I'm watching.
I mean, I definitely.
A history book
I
on
definitely,
screen, you know.
look, I speculate a little bit here and there,
Sure.
right? But I don't think
Speculate responsibly.
absolutely. I don't think we've gotten enough from Perrin yet for me to think he has malintent, right?
Oh, I don't think
I
he does.
think he has a sense of complacency. I
Yeah.
think he has a sense of privilege about him, but because he's not exposed to the horrors yet.
It will be
Right?
He's
interesting though
ignorant.
to see him when all that is challenged,
Definitely,
or
right.
on the brink of evaporating from him.
Or
how does he respond to that?
Or
Yeah.
imagine him trying to save his skin and his own skin, and it ends up costing his life and his daughter's. Like, that would be
which we could
insane.
see it break, one way or another, and we could also see, the Empire go, well, you've been a loyal,
Yeah.
you've got friends in high place. Because what we didn't talk about, because I didn't catch on to it, and I therefore, no offense, you guys aren't going to catch on to it. The other figure that he mentions,
It's a good backhanded compliment there.
well, no, it's
No,
just
in a
What
good way.
figure?
right? The other person he mentions Sly Moore and another person, and I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
remember their name. It's one of Palpatine's.
Yeah,
It's
Masameda.
Viziers.
No,
that's
no,
Mas-
no,
It's
no,
not
no.
Masameda. It's one of the old
It's
guys
one of the
from
viziers
Return of
that
the
are
Jedi.
in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I did see that.
So like Perrin's got these powerful friends.
What if that's
right?
one of those guys is Perrin?
It's not. All right, come on.
Perrin and Palpatine. This CBS Sunday.
What is this?
Perrin and Palpatine.
We should have a new segment at the.
Nice Star Wars theory there, guy.
We should have a new segment and call it Smetz's Speculation.
No, but
brother.
I think also something important to bring up. Again, StarWars.com every Tuesday they have the
They do the
episode
episode guides, yeah.
which are really really interesting. Sometimes they have like nuggets, like they did about.
It'd be cool if we did like our episodes on Tuesdays.
Before,
So we would. Why
Just,
not
oh,
Wednesday?
6 days after the
Right.
episode came out.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I think you messed up the math there.
Yeah.
No, I knew what I was saying.
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
Okay.
bit.
What was I also going to say? The episode guides. Because last week we were wondering whether or not Syril was on Coruscant or Primorlana, and he is in fact on Coruscant.
Okay.
So,
it?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Is
Yeah,
in
that's
fact-
right.
Well, I
yeah.
thought it might have been a different planet.
That could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a new
yeah.
section for the thing. It's like the episode guide corrections, correcting our insane theories
Yeah.
or crackpot. So it is Coruscant.
Credited corrections.
Although I was pretty confident it was Coruscant. You were like,
I wasn't
didn't
sure.
know.
I
But
was pretty confident. I thought it was Coruscant too.
I think I was the only one putting it in.
That's probably
yeah.
right.
Because they had good drivers.
What do you
flying
think,
them.
Brandon? Oh, you're not here. Okay.
No, he would
Well,
say
I-
something
I
like
think
Coruscant.
good.
It is one
Coruscant.
giant city.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
All
right, well, staying on Coruscant, we saw only a little bit of Skarsgård in this episode.
Yes. Another interesting relationship dynamic happening here with what's her name?
I don't know her name.
Clear something or other.
Yeah, that was interesting, huh? Are they together?
No.
I don't. It might be. I don't know.
She's waiting for him to like turn the lights off.
The
and go
way
home.
she was kind of talking to him. I mean, they obviously have had at least a partnership of some kind for a long time, because she was kind of directing him in terms of this is what you wanted, this is what it had to happen, and so I feel like she is just as invested in what he's doing. You know,
it's good to see him in you see he's vulnerable.
Well, it could
a little bit.
So here's what we don't know. Like, you're putting significant other there. I think that I'm
not 100% confirmed on that, but I feel like they are very, very close.
They're very close. I don't think significant other. I don't think Star Wars would put that big of an age gap in a relationship. Right?
They had brother and sister kiss. Why wouldn't they have a big age gap?
Right.
Hey,
okay. But in current age, right? In current day.
No, I think you're. Yeah, that's right.
But I definitely think there was some sort of other familial or other relationship
maybe,
there.
Yeah, related, or
right?
Something.
Because, and I had mentioned that I think Luthien collects people.
Clea is her name. Clea.
I think
Clea Markey.
I think he collects people, right? Like, he collected Andor. You know, he collected Vel.
That's a good. I like
right?
that.
So there's this idea that he's got these people that he trusts and he brings into their, you know, and he goes, here, take my Kyber crystal.
He's like Schindler, Oscar Schindler.
Yeah, well, I mean,
where he gives these people jobs and a purpose in a dark time.
All right, I guess
this Kyber crystal. This here is 10 people. Remember at the end with the ring?
Yeah. I mean, but it's got to be, you know, it's what it comes down to is I think that whatever relationship is there, I mean, she's basically saying like going beyond this employer relationship and being like, hey, you need to calm down and just let everything pan out and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, let me read what this database says about Clea Markey.
Okay.
This is from StarWars.com on the episode guides. The concierge at Luthen Rail's Galactic Antiquities and Objects of Interest Gallery. That's the name of Luthen Rail's Galactic
Sounds very
Antiquities
Indiana
and
Jones.
Objects of Interest Gallery.
Collector of Antiquities.
Clea Markey is a master of disguise. At the shop, Clea works out front assisting customers in restoring precious artifacts, but when called upon, she is a perfect emissary, messenger, and enforcer for Luthen's spy operation with a highly attenuated intuition and unflinching commitment to the rebel cause.
Zam Wrestle lives. The Zam Wrestle joke.
Well, Zam Wessel was a Claudite.
Yeah, I know, but he was master of disguise. That was. I was trying to do the Brandon hand.
Yeah, you failed, buddy.
Brandon, we need you back, buddy.
We need you back, Brandon.
I think he's a she. And I think she's a changeling.
He's
That's my death.
It's Wishani Slimo.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's in my notes.
I know you're a Star Wars competitor. I get it.
No, but it's so I was kind of right with what I was saying that I think Luthen is trying to build this like rebel intelligence agency, right?
A counterintelligence.
Yeah. So that was interesting. We had got another Easter egg.
Yeah, a friend of the podcast, Edward Harrell. I don't know if he's a friend of the podcast. He hasn't tweeted about our show. He usually would.
No.
But I will give you a shout out, and then I'll tell you to listen for it, and you have to watch this whole episode to find this little quick shout out, which will be 10 seconds. But good job, Ed. He actually pointed out that the Shankara stones from Indiana Jones.
They're up on the shelf next to the holocrons.
Yeah, and I noticed.
Didn't you point that out last?
I did not point the Shankara. I don't know if they were there, to be honest.
They were. They were there, but they were out of focus.
And this time in focus, you see the 3 lines that are on the Shankara stones. There's a little line above it, which the color palette reminds me of Ahsoka. I know it's not intentional.
No, but yeah.
But like the 3 lines can kind of give it away that that's just a little Easter egg. But I'll give a shout out to Edward because he had tweeted me at it, and I.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I also saw them, so I would have brought it up right now. But yeah, we'll give Haskell.
We give him a little credit.
We'll give Haskell some credit.
You get half the credit, Haskell.
Yeah.
But
I don't go on Twitter anymore, so.
You better.
12% of the credit.
12%. That is an
12%.
MCU joke. And, 2 MCU jokes, actually, from Avengers. 12% of the credit for Pepper Potts. And then 12% of a plan in Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right,
And that's why
great.
I was.
I wonder
Interkingdom
which.
champion
I
in
wonder which one I was
perpetuity.
referencing.
Perpetuity.
Perpetuity.
But,
Look it up.
Yeah, that was great.
Perpetuity is like dried flowers and leaves that you put in a little bowl. It smells nice.
That's
Sean,
potpourri.
That's potpourri.
Damn it.
Yeah. Potpourri. We're looking for potpourri.
Speaking of intelligence agencies,
There's no intelligence up here. I'll tell you that much.
that's not where I was going, but yeah, that's a good one. I was going to talk about
Deidre.
Deidre. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pill poppin' Deidre.
Our pill
And with pee poppin'
Pill
Kevin.
popper Deidre.
our pill poppin' ISB agent.
Hell yeah.
It was a
yeah.
pretty brief scene. They were just drawing connections to Kessel and Jakku and other planets that they were stealing stuff from.
Hazian Prime, I think. they
Hazian
said,
Prime
yeah.
was mentioned.
Yeah, they Jakku and Kessel. I heard
Kessel,
too.
right? Yeah.
Which I'm all for it, but man, think of how many countries there are in the world. It's starting to get a little small when we keep hearing Hazian
hold
Prime
on,
again.
hold on.
But they are core worlds. I get it. I'm not complaining.
Well, they're
but-
not. Well, Jakku's in the unknown regions.
Well, yeah, that
And
is
it's pretty pivotal.
And Kessel, but all these planets are planets that we know have some sort of imperial presence.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's what kind of matters there. It's yes, we could say, hey, there's all these unknown worlds, but she's mentioning items being stolen from these places.
You're right, and in the news
so
too. It
so
would be
you know that's
the
why
same
we
We know
always
countries you hear
Jakku
over.
is a very interesting place for such things.
yeah, it shows up in the Thrawn trilogy. I'm trying like it shows up in other stuff too. But
Because Palpatine has like a cache there, doesn't he?
oh, sorry,
That's
I
from
was
the game,
thinking
isn't it?
Batu.
Yeah.
Yes. Jakku.
Yeah.
Jakku actually shouldn't have any reference to it. Right now it's under control of Nema the Hutt.
Okay.
But he does have, Operation Cinder. He's got an outpost there for Operation Cinder that has a bunch of stormtrooper cadets.
Operation Cinder. That's right.
Even at this point in the timeline?
Yeah, Operation Cinder was always
he
an
would have
early
most
game plan,
likely.
right?
Well, he most likely would have been beginning Operation Cinder.
Okay.
I don't know that. I don't know that we have a timeline for when he started building
Gotcha.
these. I forget what they're called, but he's got these outposts, contingency outposts. Yeah. But he's got there's a name for them. But yeah, when we see it in Star Wars Aftermath, I believe it's the third Aftermath book that we see it.
After Aftermath.
After Aftermath, yeah.
Yeah.
Aftermath, Empire's End.
Okay.
I think is the name of the book.
I trust you.
Is that the one where we hear of Jar Jar Binks and he's like a clown performer?
Yeah.
And someone runs into him
Yeah.
and he's like all sad.
He's a
Man,
jester.
we
on-
needed Brandon here for that impersonation right now.
Well, he doesn't read books, so
I don't think
He doesn't
reads.
he doesn't know how to read.
He doesn't know how to read.
Joke Jinx.
That's why
You
he
can't
only.
talk
That's
until
why
I say
he
your name
quotes
3
movies
times.
so well. He's never read a book.
He wrote a book.
Yeah, he's got an outpost there. That's the start of Operation Cinder. One of his yachts is there, and I believe a Super Star Destroyer, and then a bunch of like proto First Order Stormtrooper cadets
Okay.
that make up the first batch of First Order Stormtroopers,
And a bunch
essentially.
of old TV guides.
and
That's
a
like
lot
in
of
the
old
story.
TV guides. He
and
collects.
vintage Playboys.
Yeah, he well,
vintage stuff.
He only
He read it
had
for
them,
the article.
Yeah, for the articles.
For the articles and the jokes.
This one mentions the new movies coming out. So
Look at this. It's a Bibble bulletin.
Look at the size of these.
Okay.
No, that would be Wedge. That's what Wedge says.
No, yeah.
Look at the size of that thing.
Oh, man. Cut the chatter.
God.
Woo! And that was it. And the show ended after 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Or 3, but with the pilot.
Yeah. So nothing major with that story, but
No, but just more or less that she's not giving up. She's still
no,
on the
and
hunt.
she's putting together. I definitely think that she's gonna put things together. I wonder if we're gonna see. We kind of talked about what's gonna happen with Syril. I wonder if Syril is gonna somehow get involved with her.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Because that's he's got that. He's still got that little hollow picture.
They're going to, I think, coincidentally meet.
I can't say hologram. I said hollow picture.
Okay.
I can say hollow. He's got that hologram of Cassian,
Yeah.
right? So you know, I could see that being a plot point later in the season.
Yeah, like he's gonna go off, maybe do his own thing, try and hunt down Cassian. He's gonna end up running into Deidre's agents or whatever, and then's like, let me work for you, and that way it shows his mother that he's working for the Imperials, not just like security.
I don't think he necessarily cares about. Well, I think he cares about proving something to his mother, but I think if anything, he cares about proving his mother wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, you could tell he has.
Because even in going back to their conversation, she's like, as we were talking about, maybe the security thing wasn't for you, but by joining the ISB, that's showing her like, oh yes, I can do this.
Not just you know, lowly corporate security, but I'm in the highest security office of the land.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. So that could be a thing down the way.
Yeah, I really like the ISB agents. I like that. I definitely feel like this is just being peppered through for later stories, right? Like this, the core story we're getting right now is the story of Clem and the raid on the Imperial base.
Yes.
And here we go. Great segue, by the way. You're killing it with the segues today.
You know, someone's got to keep us.
As long as you keep pointing them out.
Can I say? That's a fair point. Can I say that this episode, such great character work, setting up these characters. You know, way more about these guys and girls that you did before. Like, and they did a good job of setting it up last week. But this week, I just love it. And I like listening to a friend of the podcast, Star Wars Explained, Alex, talk about it. Like, he loves Star Wars action just as much as anyone. But he made a good point today on his show that it sets up like
sets up the third act.
The action of this next week's episode is so much more enriched by the slow build of this character.
Yeah.
And I think that if it was all in 3 episodes, like remember I was saying, we should binge it 3 episodes. That even so, I think that we're with these characters and we're probably with this episode for another week. That it hangs with us a little longer, and we're almost in for that a little longer of a journey. And next week, talk about nerves, and let's talk about poor Namek. Come on, the guy's gonna die.
Namek.
Oh, don't you dare!
Namek
is my sweet little.
Well, the reason why he's gonna die is because he's the most gung ho about.
Oh
the cause.
yeah, they've set him up.
And that's why.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, they've set him up to be the you know.
It's like in any movie, you don't want to ever.
He's set up to be like Cassian. Take my butt.
Yeah, it's like oh great, that's a good idea.
Cassian's gonna read the manifesto.
In any war movie, if a guy shows the main character a picture of his wife and kid before the battle,
right.
he's dead. If you're writing a book about the cause, you're dead.
Yeah,
you're dead.
Namek, look, I'm a model. I like modeling and painting. Nemek's
You're a model?
Maybe
I would buy a calendar review.
10 years ago, I probably could have, but you know,
a couple weeks ago when I took your picture, engagement pictures.
Yeah, you skipped, pretty good. By the way, you skipped Mr. Show Notes.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Say, hey, yeah, congratulations to myself.
No, but you were supposed to see it. You're the host.
I was supposed to see.
You're the intro guy.
Well, we didn't.
It says Frank intro.
We don't really do an intro here
end.
if you haven't noticed.
Yeah,
Frank just hits play.
Anyways, congratulations,
yes,
Sean.
Congratulations.
Newly engaged to Jill.
Right,
we
forget
love
about that now.
Yeah, I had a much bigger
it means
pomp and circumstance.
Now that I've gotten engaged, it means I'm gonna die next episode.
Yeah. If you, you're not gonna make it past. Yeah. And that was also on Star Wars Explained. I actually supported them because I love them. I sent a super chat and I asked what the odds are, and they both think
this guy just flaunting his money around. Oh my god,
$5.
Now he just even dropped how much he dropped.
I've got
it's a cup of coffee.
I've got that super chat money.
I'm making sweet SC money.
That super chat money.
Hey, you know what? Send us a super chat.
They can't.
Oh,
yeah, they can't. Yeah, I can.
No, they can't.
No.
Monetize.
No.
Monetize. Mon Mothma.
We need like 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers and 4,000.
Well, and I'll be eating kibbles and bits if that happens. But yeah, they also believe that out of any of them, it's probably him. I would say maybe a lot of them die, but I would think that the one that you can pretty much put all the chips in.
Well, I don't think Cinta's been built up enough for us to lose Cinta. She's also splitting off from the main group.
Maybe Skeet too. Skeet could die too.
Skeet.
Skeet? Is it Skeet or Skeen?
Skeen.
That's autocorrect.
I like Skeet.
Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah. I think Skeet is
Alex Damon's gonna make fun of me for that.
I think Skeet's gonna blow it.
No. I think he's gonna save Cassian's ass.
It was a joke about blowing Skeet, but anyways,
I'm so just locked in, man.
So
we're locked into the
galaxy far away.
Yeah. Here's the thing: we see the conflict between Skeen and Cassian.
Oh, this is great.
Which was a great scene.
Such a good scene.
I think that we're gonna see next episode Skeen do something selfless for Cassian.
Yes, yeah.
Ooh.
I think so.
Whether for Cassian,
You think he'll say, "Is that enough an apology?"
Whether
That would be
whether
great.
for whether for
Callback.
Cassian or the crew, right? I don't think it has to be for Cassian, but Cassian's gonna see. We have to see at some point in the season, Cassian turn from,
all about the money into
into rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah.
Which we talked about where that line came from. I bet you that line is in the manifesto.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool.
Goosebumps,
Or
bro.
Nemec's gonna say it next episode. Also, we don't know that Nemec's gonna bite it next episode, right?
We just know
It
that he's
could
gonna
be-
eventually.
I would bet in the next 4 episodes Nemec bites it.
And before he does, he'll say rebellions are built on hope.
Or it's in the or again, it's in the manifesto, right? Or some line about hope. It doesn't have to be rebellions built on hope.
Could you imagine what a great thing, especially if this character dies way tragically?
Yeah. I will say, Tim. Tim's death really affected me, but I think Nemec.
All right, that was a good joke. That was a good joke.
That was good.
What I will also say is there's a scene too where Skeen pulls off the Kyber from Cassian,
Right.
and he's like, "I knew you were lying," blah blah blah. And
The line, "Who brings a treasure
to a
to a
heist.
heist.
Yeah,
or
There's
to a robbery?"
to a robbery. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good lines in this
Yeah.
this episode. The writing was phenomenal. This episode.
The writing's been phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the whole way.
The whole way through.
The one thing that I thought was very, very interesting was Cassian kind of undressing the group of like, don't act like you're not scared. I'm not afraid to admit I'm scared.
I'm terrified. Yeah.
Like he's he's actually, you can see him be what I think Luthen sees in him as this future leader of
Yeah.
galvanizing this group of like, if you guys want to do this,
Well, and then we've got that, I'm being paid.
yeah.
The whole breakdown of the group and that scene, and we're talking about these people giving their lives and sacrificing themselves for this cause. It's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it's going to go the other way in some way, shape, or form with the group as a whole. I don't remember Nemec, Skeen, and who's the other gentleman?
The big
Gorn
dude.
is the
But the
Gorn's
big dude, the
lieutenant.
other big dude that was
The
teaching
other-
them how to
yeah.
march. Yeah, I had that scene. By the way, was so good. A side note, you just
We
brought
got
up the
Skeen.
I did
Oh,
it
we
for
got
I did it for money. That
Yeah.
scene's so good that on the
Perrin.
drive here, I listened to it
Perrin.
again. Like,
Perrin, yeah.
what great scene work about like. Just like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, and like I did it for the money, but I'm not gonna be the one scared. Like
Right.
there's a difference.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah, Terriman. I can definitely see Skeen and Terriman. Maybe even instead of giving themselves up for the group, maybe even kind of turning on Cassian a little bit. When push comes to shove and the action happens next episode, right? It's either Skeen's gonna give himself up for the good of the cause, or I could see Skeen and Terriman turn on Cassian a little bit.
Yeah, this is me.
Right?
This,
Because if Vel's not there, Vel's out of the picture.
Yeah.
Vel's going to be somewhere else. They're meeting with Vel after the job's done,
Interesting.
basically. Right? Vel and Cinta are going off to do something else that we don't know what.
Everything in this show is complex, so you never know.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be just a simple,
It's all layered.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the show so much.
I was just
It's
thinking
so
that too while
layered.
you were talking. With this show, we just started it now. Would we be talking in so many different deep layers about these other shows? I know that the other shows are good in their own mind, but right, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan. Everybody knows my love for Obi-Wan. But the way we talk about this show with these different layers, do you think that other shows we would dig it up as much as this,
Kevin?
or no?
You don't know what we have coming when Mandalorian comes out.
Oh, I'm excited.
That I've got a whole fucking syllabus written on Mandalorian culture. Like
so yes, I think
so
is the
yes,
answer.
but different, right?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah,
Because that's going to be more a religion and philosophy discussion
yeah.
than this is. We've
You're
got
a
this-
big Mando guy. That's true.
Oh God.
I'm looking forward to Mandalorian. But
Yeah.
in the
You'd
meantime, we're
love
talking about Andor. So,
But yeah, I do. But no, to answer your question, I don't think Book of Boba Fett or even Obi-Wan would merit this sort of deep analysis in the same way. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Those shows did exactly what I wanted those shows to do. Obi-Wan did a really interesting job of analyzing PTSD and trauma in a way that I wouldn't have expected out of Star Wars. And this sort of burden of the ones left behind, right? Because Obi-Wan represents this survivor, and he's got this along with the PTSD, he's got the survivor's guilt, and now he's being faced with Leia.
There's a purpose for our show.
So
the show goes on.
The show goes on. Let's talk about that TIE Fighter drive-by.
Oh, yeah.
Way to make TIE Fighters scary. Like, I always thought the TIE Fighters are so cool, but even as a kid, like, I never was really that scared of them. Because, like, they're almost like paper mache. They would get blown up all the time.
And especially, like, I grew my first video game that I remember owning and loving was Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
And
I'm old.
Fucking
Mine
blow
first
through them. I know, you've got the NES stuff.
Yeah, but no, but then you have like the TIE Fighter versus X-Wing games and stuff like that on the PC. But like, to continue to add to what you're saying, they make the TIE Fighters so scary, in such a cool way. You know what I mean? That like more gravitas to them.
I mean, they didn't really do anything different in terms.
It was sound design.
It was just. But it's like it's still the sound of the TIE Fighter that we know and love.
But
it's about
also,
how they're using it.
Yeah. And there's something about Star Wars, right, where when we see the core trilogy films, there's this sort of sense that, hey, there's plot armor, the characters are going to be okay, right? And yeah, Cassian has that to an extent, but we're seeing them exposed. They have cheap weapons. They're wearing these rough spun cloaks and these handmade clothing on a sheep farm, right? Like, and then you've got this military grade piece of equipment, and the pilot is just having a laugh with a war machine, right? Like, so there's this sense in Star Wars where if you ground the setting, the simple things like stormtroopers are going to have a much bigger impact. Look at the last episode of the finale of Mandalorian season 1, when you've got all those stormtroopers lined up outside of the bar on I can't remember the name of the planet, but whatever it is.
Navarro,
thank you. You got all those stormtroopers lined up outside the canteen on Navarro. That is threatening. When they bring that E-web forward, dude, it's threatening.
Even Obi-Wan, when they were in the back of the truck and you realize these stormtroopers are kind of like dicks, like this out there, and then they're like, wait, what did you say again? Like, where they were they almost seemed like cops, like not bad. Sorry, that's a bad way to say it. Like the evil characterization of like mean cops or mean soldiers or whatnot. Yeah, well, they had that attitude of it, and that was a very real, grounded.
Well, and that is abuse of authority and abuse of power.
Abuse of authority is what I meant. Not all
is cops. Such a Star Wars theme from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see, we see checkpoint searches in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Vader interrogating, where is your ship going? Right. If you're on a diplomatic mission, where's the ambassador, right? Like there's this whole a little bit of an idea of a stop and search or a lethal search and seizure. It's something Star Wars has always done so well, but the stormtroopers don't have any gravitas in the original trilogy, and it's this joke where like, hey, these blast points are way too accurate for sand people. And then we see the stormtroopers miss every shot the rest of the movie.
Yes.
Now, we know as Star Wars fans that, yes, stormtroopers are...
Oh, yeah. Right on cue. I was waiting for this guy to show up.
Can I just tell you that terrified me? It sounded like gunfire. If you go back to the video...
You've been on the Sizzin app too much today. I gotta tell you that.
These blast points are way too accurate for stormtroopers.
You're talking about blaster fire, and then there's a gunfight going on in the OK Corral behind us.
Oh, my God.
One of Frank's neighbors got swatted today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, dude.
Anyways, we as Star Wars fans know, yes, stormtroopers in universe are threatening. They are scary. But the main trilogy and even like Rebels pokes fun at stormtroopers more than anything.
And Mandalorian did too with the Taika Waititi episode.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I do think
that was a really isolated.
Yeah, I think that was an isolated moment, right?
Yeah, the TIE Fighter though adds to that, and hopefully when you watch everything in order, it might create a different air to the stormtroopers as we see.
I can't wait to do a big rewatch of this series when it's done.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
But
you'll probably do that before you watch my KOTOR movie.
Honestly, yes, absolutely.
Also, I love that they filmed it. To speak of the TIE Fighter scene, all the wides. There was a couple shots there where you're like, that could be straight out of Lord of the Rings. Like there's a shot of like the creek, and then the wide shot of them walking. And they shot it in Scotland, and it's beautiful.
Anyone hiking through hills and mountains now, it's just gonna be, oh, that's like Lord of the Rings. For the most part.
It's so beautiful.
That's the way they shot it.
And by the way, the actual place that they're gonna infiltrate, that's a real location, fellas. It is a real location. That is not a miniature. That's not even a matte painting. They found some water plant.
Kind of reminds me of Helm's Deep, you know?
Oh gosh,
there we go.
Fortress at the end of the valley.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about how there's a Ted Lasso looking guy on the top there that Gorn talks to.
Yeah.
When you rewatch it, he looks like Ted. I'm like,
well, you know what?
Ted
Okay,
Lasso
so
with a mustache.
What a great segue. Gorn, I love the scene of I love the scene of Gorn in the hangar.
Yeah.
With we see that maglev train or whatever it is they're going to try to hijack.
Yeah. And
he's like, you know, the banister's not painted, and we got an Imperial engineer coming in, right? And I love his like duplicitous way of like being like, you know, you guys have to work through the night, and they're like, but we want to see. Okay, fine. I guess you could vacate the place my friends are coming to rob.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, it was great.
I love that so much. Okay,
but he's going to die. He's going to die.
He's
going to die.
I don't think so.
I think he's
in the heist. I think he's going to.
I think he's safe.
Gorn.
I think Gorn's safe because Gorn's already had. Well, maybe I don't know.
Gorn's gonna Savorn
because Gorn's the only one that can go places in this outpost that no one else can really get to easily.
Sure, so he might have to release a switch to kind of
reveal himself.
Epic is next week's episode.
I'm really excited. I'm
staying up, and I'm not skipping the opening title.
You know what? I won't anymore either.
Yeah,
I will say last week's had a great little guitar riff in there in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm gonna when I rewatch it tomorrow, I'm not skipping anything.
I don't believe you.
So no, because
I want to film. I want you to stream it live.
Deal. I will. Right. Yeah. Well, I rewatch them every Thursday. Jill and I rewatch them. So
this next
your
episode,
fiance, Jill,
my fiance
your
and
fiance.
I, Jill,
friend of the podcast.
God, I'm so gonna die.
Fiance of the podcast. Yeah, you're not making it next week.
No.
I would say that they nailed the act out. I just say.
What was the act out on this?
The act out now was we jumped ahead of it, but it was the talk with Luthen and his aide. That was the last scene.
Yeah.
It was and you gotta wait till and we're nervous, and he's
Play
like, it's all the stakes, and then it just cuts.
It does such a good
begin
job
the heist
of building,
next week.
It does such a good job of building the tension.
Because it's so good.
And that's all this episode is. This episode is just characters chewing scenery and building tension.
It just exactly. It lays the stakes. You get more invested in all the characters that are at play that are going to be involved with this heist. So that you care more about when they're in jeopardy because while we can all say, well, they probably don't make it
you know what? But
to Rogue One,
here's the thing.
We don't know when, and we're still rooting for them.
I want to refute you on that statement. I am tired of this idea of, well, we don't see them in the movies, so obviously they don't survive. Do you know how big the rebellion is?
Sure.
Where's the crew of the Home One or all the other ships in the Rebel fleet at Endor, right? They didn't join the rebellion between the Battle of Yavin and Endor. Some of them did. They had a big recruitment boom after they blew up the Death Star. But the
wait a minute, you guys did that? I didn't know you guys could do that.
Oh, all right. I guess
well, hell.
But the whole point of the rebellion is it is fractured cells, right? So someone could be, Luthen could be alive.
No way.
I don't think so, but I'm saying Luthen could be alive.
Luthen would be out there with Mon Mothma.
No, he wouldn't. He would be behind the scenes.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's a behind the scenes.
He would not be in the spotlight. He'd be behind the scenes where
no
one.
Because maybe he recruits Hera.
No, because we know how Hera
from the novel
from
Rebel Dawn, right?
From a New Dawn, from New Dawn, and from Rebels, we know how Hera's involvement becomes what it is.
Me. That's a Smets. What did we called it again? The Smets Star Wars speculation.
And Bad Batch too. Bad Batch too, right?
We see. Well, sure, but
there's another Smets speculation.
A smetulation.
Oh, that just sounds really bad. Sounds like really gross.
Sounds like something you can get arrested for doing in public.
Yeah, I mean, this whole idea of we don't see them in the movies, so they're gonna die.
No. I mean, I wasn't trying to
fair point.
make that point. I agree.
Right.
What I'm saying
But
is
we
that
just
like
don't think because they would be probably working. The
based
point
on the
is
precedent Rogue One set, when you're introduced to characters,
right.
you're kind of led to believe that not all of them are going to make it, if any of them are going to make it, because it ties up a loose end in terms of...
And this show is definitely the spiritual successor to Rogue One.
Right.
I have a thought on that's unrelated to the episode, so I'm hoping I remember it till we're done talking about the episode. But the one hanging question we have is, who's in the shuttle?
Yeah,
Because,
that's right.
Because
when it was leaving
I've
in the
seen
background.
No.
After their argument on the hill.
Imperial
Oh,
engineer.
do you think it's Mads Mikkelsen?
A lot of people are kind of speculating that.
But why? Why would it be
Imperial engineer from Coruscant?
He's an Imperial engineer from Coruscant.
He's not on Eodo yet. Is he?
Potentially.
Oh wait, no, yeah, because he was on Coruscant
like,
before.
What's so special about this outpost that would?
We don't know.
It's because it's
right?
featured in the show Andor on Disney Plus,
but
available
it could
now
have,
streaming.
There could be a source of kyber under it, or they could be using it as because the parts of the Death Star are not necessarily all built.
Well, because in the previous episode, Vel's like, it's far enough from everything, but close enough for like shipping routes and whatnot.
Right.
So I don't think the planet inherently has any type of resource. That
no,
the
but
Empire,
it could be. It could be
just,
where they're shipping material through to get to right.
It could
so now I don't think that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah. So I don't. Unless
Does it have to be someone you think?
No. I think that most people are speculating it's Mads Mikkelsen. What's his fucking name?
What about Orson Krennic guy?
Galen? You're talking about Galen?
Galen Erso. Galen Erso.
Could be Galen or Krennic.
Orson.
Because it could also be Krennic, right? Because Krennic is.
Could
part-
someone get
But
some
he's working
girls in
on
here?
He's working on the Death Star, though. So why would he go to Aldhani?
Well, both of them are working on.
Yeah,
the
but
Death
so
Star.
that's what I'm saying. Why would they go to Aldhani?
Because they might need Aldhani for something for the Death Star. The parts
Maybe
from the
you
Death
need
Star.
to get like a screw at Home Depot, but they got to go to Aldhani to get a special
right,
hedge.
because they made a point that this was a through point for shipping other things.
Yeah.
But also they mentioned that they have big plans. That like, hey, someone says when Gorm is talking, someone mentions like what their plan is for the valley, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's obviously some sort of big plan there that's going to change the face of this planet. I don't think it's going to be anyone we know.
Yeah.
I can't think of another Imperial engineer that I'm familiar with. Unless it's
You're breathing into that mic, man.
Yeah, sorry about that.
you
can mute me. You can mute me.
Yeah.
You might as well mute me the whole time.
All right. So my question, actually, what else we got for the episode
For me, it was just the act out was great, and then next week it just reminds me of like, remember in the day where they would make video game adaptations of movies and shows, and they don't do that now, and which is cool. They have original IP. They do like Fallen Order, so they don't have like a Rogue One the video game.
Yeah.
We used to have like
I
episode
thought
3
you were
the video
going the other way.
Like
I'm
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, which is
sure.
a great game, right?
Yeah.
And like you just this setup and everything, it just. For me, I was like, imagine a Metal Gear Solid style game of Andor where you're doing all this sneaking around and stuff like that. That would be really cool.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah, I miss those days. But yeah, the hype level for me, and also the level, as I told you, I liked Obi-Wan better than Andor, but I mean, Andor is creeping up there.
For me, Andor is already well surpassed. Just the characters and the world building alone, like it's shown something in Star Wars that, like, as someone who's grown up with Legends and with the expanded universe, like, it's the kind of stuff we get in the books and the novels and the games, but we've never really seen on the screen. And now we're actually getting this sort of world building, at what core Star Wars is. Because core Star Wars right now is TV, right? There are no movies right now coming out. We've heard rumors and whispers and claims.
The Star Wars, Rogue Squadron.
But hey, I want to know what happened to Enfys Nest. Speaking of characters who survive movies that aren't around.
Yeah.
What happened to Enfys Nest? Because she's involved in some form of rebel cell.
Correct.
Yeah, that lends into your theory. Maybe they kill her off in a novel or comic.
Yeah,
or let her live.
I just
she's not one that would kind of back down though, so she didn't.
Well,
just
no,
disappear.
but she could have been. But we do have a reference.
Wait, she's also she's in Alkalite, the actress. When did she cast it?
Erin Kellyman?
No way, because Acolyte takes place way before.
I know, but she was.
No, but they could have cast her as someone else.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
What do you think Saw's role is going to be moving forward?
I think he'll show up. I think he'll show up either in the next arc or in the following arc.
Probably, yeah.
I think so. This is what I'm getting at, right? Wherever Emphas is, we don't necessarily know she's involved in the Alliance to Restore the Republic, which is what we know, colloquially as the Rebellion, is called
SAT word right there.
The Alliance to Restore the Republic is the full name of the organization.
Which would, if they had the money, that would be on the top instead of the United States of America. It would say
Alliance to Restore the Republic.
Oh, it's Willow. I was thinking of Willow.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, I knew she was just announced for another show.
What is she? Mad Mardigan's daughter?
Who?
Never
What?
mind.
Mad Mardigan.
They did mention.
Okay.
I think
silences make me hungry.
I think either last episode or the episode prior, they do mention someone spews off a bunch of names of other rebel organizations. Because here's the thing: Saw's partisans are not part of the
they aren't.
Alliance.
No way.
So Enfys could be involved in a completely unrelated. Like in Legends, we had Garmbel Iblis, which had his own branch of the rebellion. And that's kind of what Saw evolved into. And a lot of people were speculating when Stellan Skarsgård was cast is he going to be the Garmbel Iblis stand-in? Because he kind of fits the mold a little bit. But so Enfys could have went off and joined one of those. Hey, transitioning out.
Can we just say how great that episode was, and how great next week's will be, and how great we live to live? I'm in a really high.
Well, I want
everything is hitting on all cylinders in my life, but how great we get to be living in a world where Rachel Cushing, friend of the podcast, tweeted about how she was watching Andor, She-Hulk,
she's your
and
friend.
Rings
I
of
don't
Power
think she likes
tonight.
me very much.
But she hates you.
Yeah.
But I think it's just great that we live in a world where you could watch an MCU show, a Star Wars show, a Lord of the Rings show, a Game of Thrones show, and all of them, dude, to me, all of them are hitting on all cylinders. What a great time to be alive.
You know what I want?
And I don't have to watch IG movies anymore.
Speaking of IG movies, I watched 2 of them this weekend. Rather, I watched 2 that should be IG movies and aren't.
Okay.
I watched Dune.
Dune was almost added to the IG list this season, and I actually watched it.
No,
prepping for it.
But I mean the new Dune.
And they changed it. Yeah, the new Dune.
Okay.
That would have been in it too.
Stellan Skarsgård was in it.
Yeah.
Shocked the hell out of me because I see the big.
Yeah.
They put him in a fat suit, and then I watched Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner also was almost going to be added, and then it got changed at the last moment.
I know. I had some long talks with the writing staff, and there were 3 movies I wanted added
What
to
was the
IG.
third?
So Blade Runner.
Yep.
2049.
Yep.
And Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, that was also going to be
I know.
Check this out.
I know.
Blade Runner 2049.
I'm saying I had a little
That was
influence. Yeah, that was
So, well, thank you for that. Before my match with Chandru, both him and I had gotten the list of the new movies. There was like 57 movies. And by the time Chandru had watched all of them, by the time that we got told that they had pushed it away, my last movie, I got the text when I was halfway through to Blade Runner 2049, which I love as a movie, but like it's just not fun taking notes a first time pass. And so I was actually thrilled. I was thrilled when they were like, all right, we're keeping the old movies. I was like, cool, I don't have to worry about it. But great additions if they would have been great additions.
Here's the thing, right? Princess Bride was my one sticking point, right? If you want to talk about geekdom, and you have a category called swashbuckling,
it's got to be in there.
And you don't fucking have Princess Bride, what the hell, right?
What the hell?
Anyways, that was
what a time to be alive, though.
Yeah.
All the shows are hitting on all cylinders. And next week, I'm just so excited for next week.
Well, and I'm excited for fucking see where Rings of Power and House of the Dragon go.
Yeah, I'm actually very far behind on those, but I'm just so excited because people are starting to. Because I guess a lot of people were hating on Rings of Power early on.
Well,
now they're coming around on it, so I know there's
Rings. Being a big lore head like me, Rings of Power would hit most.
Are you a Lore of the Rings guy?
I'm a Lore of the Rings guy. Yeah.
All right. That was bad
there's an old Force Center question, right? Are you a lore or war? Are you in it for the lore or for the war for Star Wars? Right?
Ken was the war, and Scrimshaw was the lore, right?
And I think I'm both.
I'm the lore.
I think I'm both, right? For Star Wars, I think the war gets me, but it's the lore behind the military organizations that I love about Star Wars. So that's why I'm a little of both.
What about you? What are you, lore or war?
War.
Yeah. No, see,
but I like the
well,
lore
because
too,
the question is right. Like,
if I have to pick one,
the question is right. Like, what intrigues you more? Is it the Jedi Order and the Sith and their esoteric histories and the Mandalorian esoteric histories, or are you a rebellion and empire guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I am absolutely.
I feel like I'm becoming more
Like
rebellion.
Grand Army of the Republic. Does that get you going?
Trade Federation, does that get you real
I
hype?
don't know that I really. I think the line between
I'm so glad
whether
you
or
made
not
that headcanon work for me now in episode 2.
Oh, it's so good.
the line between
I love that. That's killer musical.
the
track,
line
man.
between
Say the line between one more time.
the line between
The line between.
the line
So
between
that's no 2 more.
The line
the line
between.
the line between
The line between this episode and next episode.
the line between
And we're going to
The
end the episode right here, and we'll
line-
find out what happens next week. Thanks for paying attention. This has been a great show. You can find Frank at FrankieNumbers.com, Sean Sully at SullyVerse.com, and Kev Smets at
the line between
and done.
The line between.
the line between
I feel
Jedi and Rebel, like the Rebel Alliance, is so razor thin that I don't know if I
See, I disagree with that.
with my own opinion.
No. But I disagree with that in Star Wars. I don't think.
No, I'm saying it's
Oh,
hard
for
for
you.
me
Okay.
to be like I favor one or the
Got
other because that line is so, like right now because of Andor. Like I'm kind of like on the rebellion.
Yeah, we're
digging the rebellion.
See, that's because
But then when I was
Kenobi,
watching
like
Obi-Wan
that
Kenobi,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I want to give more into the
But
Jedi
see,
stuff.
You
Kenobi-
can change your mind
Kenobi
throughout.
does something I love so much in Star Wars is actually showing, and actually, it came up in this episode. Nemec mentions, they're already changing the way we think, right? There's always this question of how do people forget the Jedi in 20 years?
Yeah.
Right? And then, but that's the thing.
Ooh.
This goes back to my whole.
Goosebumps again.
Well, this goes back to my whole dissertation on like, hey, the rebellion's way bigger than what we see in the movies, right? The galaxy is fucking massive. There were less than 1,000 Jedi at the time of the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
There's a cajillion fucking people
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
Yeah, but
Coruscant
even if there
alone,
was a cajillion people, if
population-
you knew that there was people out there that could
Right,
like
but
manipulate things, and
but Kevin, the population of Coruscant is probably 10 times the population of Earth.
At least it's a whole.
the population.
planet.
I could hear Ruki Olay say that.
The planet is an entire city, so I believe you.
Where
But-
was Anna when you need him?
I know, right?
The line
The line between.
The line between that is that the show episode name?
That's the episode.
It's
We're
not-
done.
It's not.
We're done.
We're done. We're done.
Oh, we're off. the
Yeah,
air?
we're done. Yeah.
Oh, you stopped recording? No, it's
No,
still
I mean, we're
recording.
still recording, but he's gonna hit a.
but believe me, we're done.
Are you gonna? Where are you gonna cut it? At?
I don't know. I'll have to watch it and see how it.
I feel like we should keep rolling right now. Don't end it. Don't end. No.
Scoundrel. Scoundrel. I like the sound of that.